Bulkhead was shocked when he read the letter from Romibot. "Are you crazy, dude? Optimus is going to find out," he thought. Wheeljack noticed the piece of paper in Bulkhead's hand. "Bulk, what you got there?" he asked. Bulkhead replied, "It's a letter from Romibot." He gave the letter to Wheeljack. He also read it too. "This isn't a joke," Wheeljack noted. "No joke. Romy is really serious. He'll be with his girlfriend for 2 weeks, and when he returns he'll be searching for a ring," Bulkhead mentioned. "Wait a sec. I thought—" "You thought what?" Wheeljack asked. "I thought you said it was unhealthy being in love with a female Decepticon." "I did say that, before you told me that he was going out with my cousin." "Yeah, that is true. And now he's planning to marry her." "He did say that in the letter." Bulkhead assumed that Wheeljack wanted to pick up a fight with Romibot, but he didn't. Jackie was just surprised about the letter. "Hey, you think it's a good idea to tell Romibot that the one he loves is my cousin?" he asked. "Of course not. If you tell him, he'll think that I told you his dirty little secret," Bulkhead answered anxiously. 2 weeks later, Romibot returned to the base. "Hey, Bulkhead, I've returned," he called. Bulkhead walked towards him, staring at him with a blank expression on his face. "I received your letter 2 weeks ago," he told Romibot. "You only returned just to find a ring for Julicon." "Yes, I did," Romibot sighed. Something wrong?" "You're only here for a week just to find a ring," Bulkhead yelped. "Is that a problem?" "Well, not really. I can read your mind. You think this is a problem. Finding a ring isn't a problem. It's just that I was worried for 2 weeks. Why?" "Because I missed you. But I'm glad you're fine." Romibot smiled, knowing that Bulkhead was waiting for him and was glad to see him again. Romibot needed help to find the ring. He knew that Bulkhead was a helpful Autobot. "Man, can you help me find a ring, please?" he requested. Bulkhead nodded his head with a smile and replied, "Of course, I'll help you. You're a great friend and you deserve the best ring for your lady." 6 days later, Romibot and Bulkhead found the perfect ring. It was a beautiful golden colour. It shined like the rays of sunlight in the morning. "Wow, Romibot, this is the most beautiful ring I've ever seen," Bulkhead flattered. "Yes, it is. I really hope Julicon likes it," Romibot said with a gulp. The 2 friends opened the ground bridge and left the base. Meanwhile, at the Decepticon ship, Megatron had forbidden Julicon to leave the ship because she was away for 2 weeks, and she finally said no to Knockout, but that didn't end too well. After the crazy drama was spreading around the ship, Julicon never spoke to anyone, including Megatron. She spent her days in the Energon chamber waiting for something amusing to happen. Suddenly, Julicon heard a noise outside the chamber. It was Romibot crawling around looking for her. He found the hole where the Energon chamber was. Julicon was glad to see her boyfriend again. "Hey there, Romibot!" she cried with tears of joy. Romibot was glad to see her too. "Why are you crying?" he asked quietly. "Because I'm happy to see you again. You came here just in time," she whispered. "Has something happened?" "Yes, something has happened. Megatron told me that I'm not allowed to leave the ship, which is the bad news, but the good news is that I finally said no to Knockout." "Did he propose?" "Told him straight up." "How did that go?" "Well, not really a lovely scene, but easier than I thought." Julicon explained the whole story to Romibot. "I decided to take your advice, standing my ground and being honest with my opinion. I found Knockout in the lab repairing one of the scanners. I asked him if I could speak to him. He had the time to do so, and I told him that I refused to marry him. Romibot was surprised because Julicon learned to stand up for herself, and her self-confidence rose from the darkness. "So how much could he take?" he asked. "I guess not much after I told him how low my feelings for him was," Julicon replied. "He started to cry like a baby who lost their toys and told me that he didn't want to talk or look at me again. In her thoughts she was happy that Knockout stopped running after her. It's great that the medic stopped bugging you, but," Romibot mumbled, "you haven't told anyone about I together." "Oh, no. I haven't told anyone about I together," Julicon replied. The lovebirds both laughed quietly, making sure no one outside the energon chamber was hearing them, until Bulkhead grabbed Romibot's leg, shouting, "Hi! Bulkhead, you metal mug!" Romy screamed in anger. "Shh!" Julicon hissed anxiously. "If anyone finds you here, they'll rip the spark out of you." Unfortunately, Knockout overheard the chaos inside the glowing room. "Julicon, what are you doing in there?" he shouted in fury. Julicon thought that the medic refused to talk to her. "Babe, help me!" Romibot demanded. She grabbed his arm, but Bulkhead's heavy weight was so much that the hanging bots, Julicon, and 9 energon cubes fell out of the ship. Lucky for the energon cubes, the 3 falling victims caught all of them, making sure they weren't lost. They landed in a desert area where there was lots of hiding places. Romibot, his girlfriend, and his best friend transformed into their vehicle modes, hiding the energon cubes, and drove off into the distance. The 3 cars veered rapidly to the left, where there were giant rocks, which was the best hiding place. They transformed back into their robot modes. Bulkhead was starting to panic and freak out. "Calm down, mate. It's Mr. Bean," Romibot whispered to his whimpering friend. "You're not Mr. Bean. He's an ugly human that puts kettles and dustbins in the enchanted emergency room," Bulkhead cried out loud. "Less noise we make, the better we'll be," Julicon suggested quietly. The 2 Autobots nodded with agreement. For 2.5 hours, the 3 Cybertronians were hiding behind the giant rocks. During the time period, Knockout discovered the dark secret that his not-so-girlfriend was keeping from him, her uncle, and the others. He suddenly realized that Julicon was in love with an Autobot. Knockout thought that telling Megatron the fact that his niece was hiding a dark secret was the best idea, but he really wanted to make sure that was the case, so he evacuated the ship and went on the hunt for the secret. Meanwhile, Romibot was introducing his friend to his girlfriend. "Julicon, this is my best friend Bulkhead. Bulkhead, this is my girlfriend Julicon." At first, Julicon thought Bulkhead was a crazy Autobot, but her point of view changed when she got to know him. She thought that he was a cool, friendly fellow. "Romy, dearest, I have a confession to make," Julicon told her boyfriend. "What is it?" Romibot asked. Bulkhead was starting to shiver. "I hate to say it, but I must. All my life, I wasn't always a Decepticon. I wasn't built like one," she sighed with a slight sob. Julicon, also known as Julibot. I was built as an Autobot." Romibot couldn't believe what he was hearing. I don't know what to say. I don't really understand," he trembled. "I'll tell you the whole story about this," Julicon said nervously. "Before Cybertron fell, I was known as Julibot, an Autobot like you and your friend. I was also one of the rare creatures that the Allspark created, the Cybertronian wolf. I was the only one that existed. I'm also a cousin of the Autobot that still lives. His name is Wheeljack. He and I used to talk every time we bumped into each other. I would always help and support him when he was in the blues. Then one day, he came. Megatron. He took and destroyed everything I loved. He even pulled me away from Jackie, and I became what I am now, a Decepticon. After the story was told, Robot was shocked and had a surprised look on his face. Now that you told me that history behind all of this, he murmured, how come you never told me this before? I knew I should have told you before we got together. But if I did, you wouldn't have believed me. You're the one who I can't live without. You're the one who's made me feel alive after the darkness took my light away. You're the one who told me to stand up for myself. You're the one I cannot lose. I love you, Romibot, and always will for the rest of my life, she sobbed. Of course I would believe you, he added. Julicon was so upset that she was walking away crying into the underground caverns beyond the rocks. Romy, my friend, I have a confession to make too. I knew all of this because I told Wheeljack that you were going out with her. He said that Julibot was once an Autobot and his cousin. He told me the same story as she did. At first I couldn't believe it, but everything he said was true, Bulkhead confessed in shame. I'm so sorry for what I did. If you hate me for this, just say it now. I'll understand, just don't leave the one you love. She doesn't want to hurt you. I forgive you, Bulk. You made a mistake, and I completely understand. It isn't easy to keep a secret like that. I'll never leave Julicon, because her life was tough and horrible before she met me. You know Knockout, right? Well, for 5 months, the Decepticon medic, has been asking her to marry him. At that time it all started, she was clueless and freaked out, so she said to him that she'll think about it, but he kept on proposing like a mad-headed con that he really is, and she was falling down until I brought her back up to the ground and she stands on. Her confidence grew and she stood up for herself. Robot empathized. Yeah, that's right. It's all my fault now, because I hurt the one I love. I hurt you, and I failed at everything. It isn't your fault, mate, Bulkhead encouraged. Her life was horrible because of Megatron, who ruined everything, killed Cybertron, broke Jackie Spark, and also tried to hurt Raph. I know all of that. That's why I'll tell Julicon that I'm really sorry and ask her to marry me. Oh, Bulk, can you do a favour for me? Of course. Anything for you. Tell my uncle and the other Autobots about me being with Julicon. What? You're joking. I'm serious. Let Optimus know about this, so he'll know what I've done. What if he leaves the base and hunts you down? Let him. He'll do it, even though he doesn't care about me. Understood. I'll do it. Thank you. You're a great friend to me. The two friends hugged each other, showing that their friendship will last forever. After that, Robot headed out to search for Julicon, and Bulkhead followed him. While the Autobots was on the search, Knockout was roaming the sandy area. His plan was to find Julicon and get rid of the two Autobots. All this time, Julicon left me and fell in love with an Autobot? This isn't right, breaking my spark for him, he thought. Knockout switched on his robot detecting device to search for his three main targets. but he didn't realise that the signal was low and that so the readings wouldn't show up on the screen. He checked every rock, even the rocks that Julicon and the other two robots were hiding behind. But they weren't there. Scrap! Signal is low. Knockout growled as he snapped the device in half and returned to the ship. Ha ha! Robot and Bulkhead were at the underground caverns where the walls glittered like the stars and the rocks did too. This is so beautiful, Bulkhead sighed, staring at the walls. He noticed a diamond on the floor and picked it up. This is no time to collecting magic gems, Robot echoed. We got to find Julicon and tell her how sorry I am. The two friends went on the search. Robot was focused on searching for his girlfriend. Bulkhead was just picking up every diamond he found on the floor until he bumped into a huge rock which Julicon was sitting on. Bulk, is that you? She asked in a startled way. What are you doing here? Bulkhead replied, let's say that Robot and I came down here looking for you. Actually, Ryan was searching for you and I was collecting diamonds, but luckily I found you here. Wow, I never thought you collected diamonds, Julicon added. Oh hey, you'll need a sack like this to carry all of them. She gave the brown sack to Bulkhead as he placed every diamond he collected. Thank you very much. This sack is very useful. Don't mention it. I'm always here to help. I'm really surprised. Surprised about what? What Robot said when he first saw you. He said you were nothing like the other Decepticons. He really said that? He is right. I was still friendly. I was still a friendly robot after I became a Decepticon. Does he hate me now? Does Wheeljack still think about me? No, he doesn't hate you. He loves you like a crazy baboon. Since I told Wheeljack that Rome was in love with you and told me you were his lost cousin, Jackie always thought about you. Suddenly, Julicon spotted a tiny figure that was around 20 kilometers away from her and Bulkhead. Is that Robot over there? She pointed. Bulkhead focused his eyes on the figure. The figure turned out to be Robot searching for them both. Julicon! Bulkhead! Where are you? He shouted in the distance. Bulkhead waved his arm to grab Robot's attention. But that didn't really work out at all. He and Julicon shouted out loud, Romy! Romibot! We're right here! Lucky for them both, Romibot heard them, transformed into his vehicle mode, and drove towards them. He transformed back to his robot mode when he was 10 kilometers away. Hang on there! Romibot shouted. Julicon, baby, I'm coming right there! He ran towards them both. Julicon started to run to him too. When they got closer, they hugged each other tightly, knowing that they were happy to see one another again, both crying their eyes out. I'm so happy that I found you, Robot cried with tears of joy. I'm happy to see you too, Julicon said as she held him tighter. I think he's gonna suffer. I am so sorry. I really am. I never wanted to hurt you. It's all my fault that you ran away from me. It wasn't your fault. I just didn't want to lose you. You won't lose me. I love you and I'm not allowing anyone to hurt you. I love you too and nothing will hurt me. It was time. Robot bent down on one knee and took a small box from his pocket. He proposed at last. I've been waiting my whole life for this. Julicon, my darling, it has been 3 weeks since we got together. But it seems more like yesterday. The only thing that made me feel alive on this planet was you. Since the day I met you, at that Energon location. I knew you were the one for me. I still loved you even though you were a Decepticon. But that didn't change my mind. I was always there for you when you needed me, by your side. To make this last forever, I ask you from the bottom of my spark, I propose to you with this ring, Julicon. Will you marry me on this very planet? Julicon was about to burst into tears because she was delighted that Robot proposed to her instead of Knockout. Oh, definitely, yes. We're so happy about that. By the old spark, she wept with happiness. I can't believe this is happening. 3 weeks have come so fast that I can't keep up and I'm struggling to breathe. Yes, yes, I will marry you. Robot smiled, knowing that he was engaged to the female bot that he loved. He placed the ring on Julicon's finger on the left hand. The lucky female Con began to cry with happiness. Bulkhead was proud at the beautiful moment, except Knockout, who found out that Julicon was engaged to an Autobot by the screen on Soundwave's face. He was so angry that the medic smashed all the screens and yelled, I knew it all along! She loved that Autobot, and now she's engaged? But not to me! That's disgusting! The Con continued to smash every screen until Knockout stepped in and grabbed Knockout's wrist. Knockout, stop this commotion at once! He bellowed. What has caused you to behave like this? Knockout yanked his wrist out of Megatron's grip and showed him the evidence on Soundwave's face. Is this the truth? Megatron questioned. Knockout nodded his head. Megatron screamed in anger. Starscream walked towards his back and asked, My Lord Megatron, what is making you to scream out loud? The leader in anger turned towards Starscream and punched him in the face. He gave the Con that fell on the floor an evil look. The drama caught the attention of the other troops. Why are you lot still here? He shouted. One of the soldiers replied, We've got nothing to do. Well, maybe go off and, I don't know, peel potatoes or boil eggs or something like that. I don't care right now. Megatron suggested. After that silly suggestion, the troops went off to peel potatoes and boil eggs. Also, Knockout went to the lab to seek revenge on Robot. And Starscream crawled away slowly, which left Megatron alone in the dark. He shared his thoughts in words. Why does it have to end like this? Julicon, why? Why did you run away with this monster known as Romibot, nephew of my great enemy Optimus Prime? In my mind, I think you discovered that you were an Autobot. Even though you've been a Decepticon all your life, your personality never changed. But I didn't think of it in that sort of way. Now I know what my mistake was. Yes, allowing Starscream to live, but converting you into a Decepticon. You are no longer worthy to me now, and as punishment for what you've done, I'll kill that Autobot you stick with. Robot. Ugh, disgusting name. Meanwhile in the lab, Knockout was thinking of a plan to get rid of Romibot. Don't get rid of him, he's too sexy. Suddenly, the perfect revenge was found. I finally found the perfect revenge, Knockout shouted with an evil grin. A substance that will make that Autobot disappear. This isn't some magic act, is it? Dreadwing asked as he appeared in front of Knockout. My dear Dreadwing, this isn't a magic act. It's a substance of revenge. Revenge on who and why? Romibot, because he took my not-so-girlfriend Julicon. And now they're going to get married. Romibot? Who is he? You're getting worked up over nothing. Nephew of Prime? I'm not getting worked up over nothing. I'm just livid that she betrayed us. You and Megatron are such control freaks. It's up to Julicon if she wants to get married to an Autobot. What? Julicon? Julibot was built as an Autobot, not a Decepticon. So I guess that she would marry Romibot, not you. I don't care about what you say. I'm still putting revenge on that Goody Spark fiancé. It's the truth. It's all a lie. Once I tell Megatron the plan, it won't fail. Knockout left the lab and told his master the plan. My Lord Megatron, I finally thought of a plan to get rid of Romibot. What's the plan, Knockout? Megatron demanded. Using this substance. What does it do? This substance will make every living organism disappear. Very interesting, Doctor. But we must test it out before using it for revenge. Yes, that's very true. Megatron thought Starscream was the best test subject, so he pointed at the Decepticon on the floor. Knockout took a small sample of the substance, poured it on Starscream, and suddenly pink gas was spreading across the chamber. The gas spread so fast that some of the troops fainted. In 5 seconds the gas was gone, and so was Starscream. Where's Starscream? Megatron questioned in a deep voice. He has disappeared, Lord. My Lord, Knockout replied. The substance is ready according to the plan. Excellent, Knockout. Megatron smiled. The only thing they didn't notice was that Starscream didn't disappear. He just turned into human, but no one noticed at all.